Here it is, Wednesday, October 2nd. Two more days until test and tune, 3 more days until race day. And here is our progress. There's still a big hole right here. And a bunch of parts here. One good thing is, look what's sitting right here. We have a fresh turbo 400 and we have a repaired 6-liter. So what happened was the intake valve for number 8 had stretched a bit where our keepers ride on the valve stem. They had stretched that groove out, which allowed our retainer to come down and beat the absolute crap out of our valve stem seal. Valve stem seal has a spring on it, about 1 inch long, probably 3/16 in diameter, pretty small spring. That sucker gets shot out, goes down through here, ends up in the lifter valley of number 6, gets into the intake roller of number 6, locks up in the wheel, locks the wheel down, wipes the lobe off of the camshaft, wipes the wheel off of the lifter, drops down even further, hits the crankshaft, one of the counterweights on the crankshaft, gets slung back up into the number 6 cylinder, gets caught between the piston skirt and the cylinder wall, drags it up and down till it hits the oil control ring, and then wipes about 1,000 grooves in the bottom side of number 6 cylinder. So that's where our damage came from. So long story short, we pulled 3 pistons, honed 3 cylinder walls, checked the rings on all of them. Everything looked okay. We did just a little bit of Scotch-Brite on one of the oil control rings for number 6, where that spring got hung up in there. Sprayed everything out real good, wiped everything down real good, threw the pistons back in it. We threw a set of exhaust valves in it because our exhaust valve stem seals were stretching as well. So Jonathan reground the seats, reground the valve angle on those exhaust valves, and we just threw another set of used exhaust valves in it just like what we had, and did it just to make the race. So she's going to be a one-trick pony. We may get some grudge racing and, you know, probably a maximum of 20 passes out of this thing before we need to pull it, tear it down, and actually freshen it up this time. We're going to go back with stainless steel intake and exhaust valves. Bare minimum. We really want Inconel, but, you know, depends on how prohibitive the cost is. Got a new trans temp gauge. Didn't trust the other one. Done some experiments on the other one. We got us a Bud Light can. I tore the top of it off. Got my accurate digital thermometer here and our sending unit. Hooked our gauge up to this battery over here. Heated the water with this torch. And I was testing it, and there was some spots where it was 20 or 30 degrees off. Well, 20 or 30 degrees on a transmission temp could mean the difference between life and death. So we definitely wanted to make sure we had accurate transmission temperature reading. The one we got is actually pretty cool. Has analog face on it with a just normal analog dial. Plus it has a digital readout down in the bottom right hand corner. Good for at a glance looking. You know, in the shutdown area, we can look down, check it, see if we need to just kind of ease out of it, pull it over to the side and let it cool down or not. We don't want to burn up another transmission. That crap sucks. So I've got a catch can over here. We're probably going to throw on this transmission vent just to make sure that we don't oil the track down for anybody if our trans does get hot. We ended up having another camshaft. Forgot to say that. We did have another camshaft that we slid into the engine. It came in the car. We didn't use it in the beginning because we weren't sure exactly what the specs were. It's looking like we're going to be about 10 thousandths away from coil bind on the exhaust side. I think we're at a 648 lift now, or a 658 lift now. Now it's a 648 because we're 660 max on these particular double springs. So what we're going to do is we're going to leave 10 thousandths lash in the exhaust valve. Valve train will be a little bit noisy, but at least we don't have to worry about coil bind. That's definitely the last thing we want because that'll tear everything out of it. It's got a new set of lifters. Honed 3-cylinder walls. It's a lot of work. I'm glad I got good friends like Jonathan and his dad David. Good people. Definitely put the hustle on helping us get ready for this race. So today, all of this crap right here, all the way around here, and all of this crap here, I'll have to go back into this hole. Shouldn't be a problem. I think we can get it done today. Of course, if any of the rest of you live in Amarillo, you know exactly what's been going on for the last 3 days. This is what's been going on the last 3 days. We are saturated and soggy here in Amarillo, Texas. So, is what it is, I guess. We've got the Bronco in here still. Ended up having to yank the engine out of it. This is our 100% custom frame off restoration. Beautiful truck. Very beautiful truck. But the engine is also at Tulia Machine getting worked on. We had an oil leak problem that we just couldn't figure out, so figured it was best if we went ahead and yanked the engine and took it to the boys at Tulia Machine and let them go through it, make sure everything was okay. Seemed to be a rear main, could have been a porous block, we don't know. We've been trying to find it for a couple of weeks now, so we just kind of decided to punt and we'll let Jonathan give it a shot, and they're going to get it worked out for us. I'm very confident of that. So anyways, that's my update for now. Hopefully I have some help show up here pretty quick. The owner of the car is going to be here, good old Carlos, and we're going to set this engine back down in the cradle and put it back where it goes. I'll let y'all know when it's back in. We're ready for the first fire.